Hello and welcome to another Bad Comic Review. I just read The Silencer issue 1. This is from DC Comics, and it has a stupid gatefold cover, like I hate. Mostly because you can't check the condition very easily, and it is going to get destroyed. Now this is, of course, part of the new Age of Heroes from DC, and that means that they're really trying pretty hard, actually. I thought this was going to be garbage, but I didn't realize who was working on it, and that was Dan Abnett and John Romita Jr. Now, I was first introduced to Dan Abnett when he was working with Andy Lanning on Resurrection Man back in the 90s. And John Romita Jr., if you don't know who he is, you've been in comics for about 5 minutes. So if you're a fan of either of them, you're going to really like this book, I think. It starts off with like what's happening right now outside of Charleston, South Carolina, and it's a woman in a weird suit with her kid telling her kid to look away while she shoots somebody. Well, this issue takes place 1 week earlier, so we see that scene and then we cut back, and she's just some ordinary mom. I think she might be Asian or Polynesian or something. Anyway, she has dyed blonde hair, which really, that doesn't work for me. You look at that cover and you think, wow, short-haired angry lesbian shooting everything up. But she's got this kid, and his name is Jellybean. Well, it's not his real name, but that's what she calls him. And they're grocery shopping when she is accosted by a very large, very scary man that she knows from a former life. I believe his name is Killbox. And he has all sorts of weird cyber enhancements. He wants to talk to her, bring her back into the fold, but she takes him down in a pretty awesome fight scene. I enjoyed it anyway, and he kicks her butt a little bit, knocks her to the ground, breaks a couple of her ribs, but she gets the drop on him through her superpower, which is the ability to create a cone of silence, to quote Get Smart, and she can injure people without making noise. Now there is CCTV footage, and they are in a parking lot, so you have to have some suspension of disbelief, which is pretty interesting. Yeah, she calls it the zone of silence. I call it the cone of silence, because the Get Smart reference is way funnier. So she dumps the dead body in a dumpster and puts her groceries in the car and takes her kid home. How nobody else saw this, like I said, suspension of disbelief. So then we meet her husband. We have some family banter, which is a little boring, but actually relates to the mundanity of her current life. Now, she's going by the name Honor Guest. I don't know why you would choose that as your cover name. Choose something innocuous, like Betsy Smith. Yeah, whatever. Talia Al Ghul shows up and tries to offer her a present, says, I let you out, but the rest of the world won't. The rest of the underlife, as she calls it, which I don't know if that's an organization or just an underworld reference, like the life in the underbelly of society. I think they're just trying to be cutesy. But there's this guy, Mr. Remedy, that's looking for Talia. They see the fight scene on CCTV footage, and they realize that, in fact, Silencer's been reactivated, and Silencer was her handle. Everybody's got cool superhero and supervillain names. While Honor is trying to get rid of Talia, they go to drive away, and the car is attacked. And that's when the life drags her back in, and these two supervillain-looking guys pop up to try and take out Talia. We've got Blood Vessel and Breacher, and they are made short work of as the Silencer gets into costume, which I kind of don't like the costume, not yet anyway. And she takes them out by silencing around them and then gunning them down. And I know I didn't make that sound very good, but I'm very tired right now. I haven't been to bed yet, and it's very, very late. I'm trying to keep it a little simple so you'll read the book, but that's the basics of the story, and I thought it was a lot of fun. It's got a very action-oriented feel. If you like John Wick, you're going to like it a lot, I think. Any kind of action movie where they're dragging somebody back into the life they wanted to leave behind. Give it a shot. See what you think. I'm going to give it a few more issues. I think it looks really good so far. As long as they keep this creative team, should be okay. So that'll do it for this episode. As always, thank you so much for listening and supporting the channel, and we hope to see you on the next episode.